Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a very special final. We have the Geoguessr World Cup Final for you today. My name is Zotomo, and I'm joined by the event organizer himself, Paschtetli. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. I'm very glad I can be here.
Yeah, very exciting series. I took part and, of course, didn't get very far, but it was still a great event to play in. Yeah, can you just give our viewers a rundown of how this competition worked?
Yes, sure. It's a World Cup and designed as a knockout tournament, and in some way similar to the Reddit League Cup, as some of you played. The only difference is we had group stages similar to the football soccer World Cup. 48 players participated in this tournament. I'm very proud and glad for that. Thank you. We had 12 groups and many players, quite well known, participated. That's very great.
Yeah, and then all the players played each other in their group one time. The top two, I believe,
Yes.
advanced. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, to a round of 24. And then there was a home and away leg for each country.
Yes. Some countries have no map, no Google Street View, so I had to come up with something, and I figured why not let the players choose their GeoGuessr home map. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Barbados, for example, Boxa, who played for the Barbados, he chose Germany as his home map.
And then there's, of course, a series of eliminations based on the total number of points across two maps, and worked our way all the way into, of course, because the numbers didn't quite work out. Elimination round three was a six-way battle in Turkey, which resulted in the top four players progressing. And then finally down, we came to our semifinal, Armenia and Angola. Armenia is represented by Modone 14. Angola by Firebond, who is of Reddit League fame, did very well this season
Yes.
as a newcomer. And then France and Indonesia was the other semifinal. France, of course, Tall Impala, and Indonesia was Equal Potato, pretty new player,
Yes.
making it all the way to there. And the two countries to come out on top, Armenia and France, Shitley.
Yes, funnily enough, Madonia and Equal Potato were in the same group starting off the tournament. They both got promoted to the elimination stages and managed to get to the semi-final. I thought that's quite notable.
Wow, very interesting, strong group indeed. One interesting thing is that Indonesia did fail to play one of the games, at least in the
Yeah, no,
semifinal. So,
they played it, but I don't know, like 4 hours late or something.
okay, okay.
And the last in the week before they also did the same thing, and I had a bit of a moral issue to let him pass to the finals, because I don't know, it seems a bit unfair to get him through two times in a row like this.
Yeah,
So I figured just I'm not gonna count that.
yeah. So kind of like a Reddit League system where your first time kind of a yellow card, get a bit of a warning, but
Yeah,
the second time,
yeah,
no, not gonna let it cut. Yeah, it is tough, but the deadlines are deadlines, and players have to play them by
that's
those
true.
deadlines. So that means Tom Paula did progress to our final. So our final is a three-map challenge. Unlike other playoffs, this is not a best of three, but a total score. So all three maps matter, and getting lots of points across all three is going to get you the win in the end. Of course, just like the other stages, there is a home and away map for both players, and then a decider third map of your native country, Paschtetli,
Yes,
Switzerland,
that's true.
to decide things, I guess, which is fitting for this competition. Yeah, so we have Indonesia, 'cause obviously Armenia does not have coverage, France, and Switzerland on this one. So going into these finals, Paschtetli, do you have any favorite of these two?
Since I don't really know Madone 14 from other competitions, I would favor Tall and Pola a bit. But Madone 14 did very well in other challenges, like the Turkey one, where the best four progressed. He managed to win this, I think. He got the best score there. So I'm not really sure what I should expect. I think Madone 14 could very well surprise us.
Yeah, so real underdog here that I'm looking to upset the favorite for sure, the big country of France against little Armenia. And let's see how they can turn things out. We had a bit of an issue with the recordings for the first map in Indonesia. So we're just going to cover the locations and the players' scores here. Our first round was southeast of Badung in West Java. Both players getting an ace in that one, using up their maximum amount of time for this. But Paschtetli, you did say that these locations were all curated. You picked them carefully to try to give a challenge to the players. Is that correct?
Yes, I tried to make it as hard as possible. Some rounds, some seeds I didn't use. Had just very urban locations only in Jakarta or Surabaya, and I thought that was not very fitting for a final, where the absolute best player for every country, for their country, should get a hard seed to prove himself. And after, I don't know, like 10 minutes, I took the seed, and yeah, so here we are.
There we go. Well, at least round number one wasn't too much of a challenge for them. But round two was quite different. Round two saw us in North Sumatra, right on the coast in a very small little village. There were a few points of interest on the map, which helped Madone get very close. 4,807 points for him. Tall, however, kind of came up against that Indonesian curse way on the wrong island far away. Only getting 65 points for that one. So that was quite a hit. Again, total score is what counts, not winning individual rounds or games. So quite a drop in points for that one. Yeah, that's a bit of a tricky location for that. Right on the coast with not a lot, Paschtetli.
Yes, I have not played the seeds through, and I don't really know in which direction you get much information. That's usually what Calamity does, but he's not here and he didn't play the tournament, so no worries. But it's right at the coastline, not a very big road, and pretty poor looking location. So it's in a 3-minute with a 3-minute timer. It's usually very hard to find something very useful.
So we can't really blame Tall and Paula for that too much, being on the wrong island with that one. But from there on, it got much better for him. At least round three saw us in East Nusa Tenggara in Ende city, way towards the eastern part of Indonesia, one of those small islands. Both players able to roughly find the location. 4,999 points for TGBN or Madone, and Tall getting 4,995 points as well. So again, didn't lose too many more points in that round. For that, round four saw us move to West Kalimantan, sorry, there we go. In Pontianak. Man, Indonesian names, not the easiest things to pronounce.
Pontianak, I don't know.
There we go. And again, both players able to find it. Tall actually able to pick up another ace very, very quickly, so probably lots of good information in that location. But Madone dropping 1 point for that. Into round five on another small island, Bangka Belitung Islands, off of Sumatra, there, just kind of north of the capital of Jakarta. And both players also doing quite well in this final round. 4,978 for Tall, 4,849. for Modone. So ending score, Modone, of course, with that one round in round two that was way above Tall Impala's score, 24,654 for the total. Tall Impala's total after game one, 20,038 for that. So a bit of a surprise, but given that really tough location, maybe not to be completely unexpected, at least. Paschtetli.
Yeah. Also, it was Madone 14's home map, so he was actually I favored him actually for this specific seed. So that makes very much sense, and it was very unlucky for Tall Impala to just guess the wrong island on game on round two. If he would have picked Sumatra and maybe Madone 14 had a blunder on another round, the things would have looked differently, but it is how it is.
Yeah, it is how it is. So over 4,600 point lead going into our second map as we'll transition over to that. This is in France. Which of course is Tall Impala's home country map. So hopefully we see him pick up quite a few points over his competitor and equal up the match to make our game three quite interesting in this one. But yeah, Paschtetli, you got to favor Tall Impala on this one for sure.
For sure, yes. It's first of all it's his home country, and second, I know he played some very impressive seeds during this tournament on France maps, and he managed to get one or two 25Ks if I remember correctly. So yeah.
Okay, well then with that, let's jump into our first round of map number 2 in France. And we start off at least in a town, which is not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, rural France is always rough, but villages are nice.
Yes.
And some good information at the start here, Paschtetli.
That's true. It seems very urban actually. Pretty big houses, and oh, there we have a sign. Tall Impala found a sign, it seems like, but he did not really care about that. I think we had a district road on there.
Yeah, it looks like D991 was what he saw, and Paris is where he heads. Given how nice of an urban location this is, Paris probably a good guess. And some other clues perhaps that he's seen that I don't even know that signals that we're in Paris. But
sure, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Paris?
No, actually no, but many times to France, so.
Yeah, are you in the French-speaking part of Switzerland?
No, I'm in the German-speaking part, but as all Swiss guys, we learn France very early in school, but I don't really speak much. It's very hard language.
Well, there's a very good sign for Modone,
yes.
Paris, right there. As well as, it's probably a district of Paris that Tall Impala has been looking at on some of those street signs that gave it away. But yeah, he's already got the location.
There's the 5K.
And there's the 5K. Yeah, very nice for him there. A bit fast. Another whole minute for Modone to get his score here. We can kind of already get a bit of a spoiler on Tall Impala's screen, but don't mind that.
Yeah, it seems like Madone 14 is on a good way. I think there is the location, and it seems like he's just trying to pinpoint right now with houses.
Yeah, now he's got to get that exact location. About 45 seconds left. The restaurant just up the street will be helpful.
Yes.
Or actually, just south along the street. He's headed towards the south, so.
I've not seen the bus station though.
Yeah, it's always tricky.
Yeah, it is on the map, but I don't know. I've not seen it on
Yeah, but it is enough for him to pick up an ace as well. So again, 5,000 points for both of them. Closed. Paul and Paula not able to close the gap in game one, at least in the first round there. But a pretty easy round in Paris, Paschtetli, to get us started.
Yeah, I wanted to I actually didn't want to use this seed at first because it is not it started off so urban, and then I saw the second round, and I figured, yeah, what the hell, there is there's only farmland, so no way they can get a 5k on that. And so I used it.
Okay, well, yeah, let's take a look at this round number 2. And as you mentioned, it is farmland. We are way out in the middle of, well, probably nowhere in France, and which means it's going to come down to lots of clicking to see who gets assigned first here. Tall Impala heading west, and oh, well, they're both headed west now.
Yeah. Gen 4 coverage seems like it's we're not that far away from civilization.
Yeah, and they both get a nice village entrance sign, D271, right there, looking at it almost the exact same time. So they are following each other click for click here.
And Tall Impala seems right away to know in which part of France we are.
Yeah. Yeah, not to mention he's been playing France a lot for his home map throughout the tournament, but also there are two Tour de France competitions going on at the same time. So he's also got lots of extra practice playing in those.
I'm not playing in these because I'm gonna be away for the next 3 weeks. So that's a shame, but yeah.
Yeah, some pretty good information for Modone there as well. A couple more street signs.
Yes. Let's hope he recognizes something on there.
I'm actually not too familiar. I don't have a map to myself to look at, trying to watch two screens, but
I do.
There we go. So we're in what part of France are we in with the D71?
We are between Nantes and Rennes, so and on the east side, near the Bretagne. If it says something to anyone.
There we go, and it certainly seems to be where Modone is looking for this one, with about a minute left. Paul has also been in some map scanning modes, but is right now trying to check and find a bit more information before he settles down with a guess.
And there he has found another town, I think.
Yeah, he has entered another town. And a few more signs. There we go.
The same town, Châtelet, as Madone 14 has found.
Looks like, at least in this round, they're going to both be pretty close again on the score sheet. Probably not what Tall Impala wanted in France. He wanted to be able to gain quite a bit of a lead.
And I think Madone 14 has already picked his farm where he thinks we are.
Yeah, it looks like Tall Impala having a bit of a trouble finding the actual village.
Yeah, I think the compass matches for Madone.
Oh,
so,
he finds the village at the very end, but not able to make the click for Tall. That's a bit unfortunate. An ace for Modone, though, on there, 4,884 for Tall Impala. So he sees it, but just a little bit too late, Paschtetli.
Yeah, if we had another 10 seconds, it would have probably looked differently, but it is how it is.
Yeah, it is how it is, exactly. Geoguessr can be a very cruel mistress indeed. Only a few seconds separating those two, and that, and a couple 100 points gained again for our underdog champion, who doesn't look like much of an underdog anymore, at least.
Yeah,
given how things are going. Yeah, as I'll try to get us set up here. YouTube decides to play nice. There we go. For our next round. In round number 3, and another, well, slightly urban location. Looks like a much smaller village this time, but again, very good signs off the bat. D69. Pardon the euphemism. And Hazelbrook.
That sounds more like a northern country, northern town, based on the name. Close to the border to Belgium, as also Tollenpola
Yeah, interesting.
thinks.
It looks like Tall's already got this one. Unlike the last round, I had a bit of trouble finding the village. Right away has got it. There's the C9, a very small road for Madonna there with a village entrance
Right
name.
by the church.
Yeah. And that church is a great place to pinpoint, and
And
it'll take...
there's the 5K.
Yeah, it'll take Tall and Paula no time at all to get that. Less than a minute for that one.
Madone 14 has now found a phone code. I'm not very familiar with French area codes, but maybe he is.
Yeah, we'll see. He's still got a whole another minute and a half, over a minute and a half to go to try to find his location. See what he can find. He's seen all those road numbers and everything that Tall and Paula has, of course, in the village. Now deciding it's worth a look at the map.
And on the top of his screen I can see the place. And he found it as well.
There you go. I can find that. So at least he found this where the signs are pointing. Now it's a matter of backtracking to where you actually are.
In a very small town, actually.
Yeah.
Not even named on the map.
Here we go. So there's that road. There's the 69. Got to figure out where he might be. Given that he's already in the right area, this is not going to be another easy round for Tall to gain any points back.
Yeah.
You might pick up a few points here, but not much.
It seems like the needed blunder for Madone 14 is not coming anytime soon.
Yeah, at least not in the first 3 rounds for France. So I think the one bit of a tricky thing here is he doesn't know exactly what village he's in. He has some directions.
That makes actually very much sense, because I'm looking at the map right now and the place we're in has not a place name. So it's very hard to find. I get that. Unless you're French, like Tollenpola.
Yeah, using some of the road names around it as well to pinpoint Tall. And actually, he'll just run out of time there for Madonna. His pin close, but not close enough. 4,916 points. So a little bit of a jump there in the points against his opponent there for Tall, but still has a long way to go. Paschtetli.
Yeah, I'm not actually not sure how much the point difference is at the moment, but I'm sure Tollenpola can work something.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to have a running tally of every round and the total points across all the maps for us here. But we will update. There we go. That's the right word. Update our total scores after this game, after the next 2 rounds, so we can see where we stand after both players have played their home countries. But yeah, let's jump into round number 4 here. And we can see that even as it stands for this map, Tall is down 14,884 to 14,916. So he's quite the hole to dig out of. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely doing very, very well for his home map, but unfortunately his opponent is also doing well, and these signs are just coming thick and fast, making it very easy for him to pinpoint here.
That's the advantage for a European country. In Asia, it's or South America or Africa, it's usually harder to find as much signs. So yeah, that's a bit of an advantage that Madone 14 is good in Indonesia, and
and he's actually the first one to come up to a really decent intersection here, the N524, with some small village names. But the ends are pretty small, not easy to find.
Yeah.
But Tall will make his way into a village as well, and this is a much better green road signs I've learned is very nice to have. And that yellow number we can't quite read.
And I think also green signs are bigger towns.
Yes, I believe that is correct. Yeah. So that's definitely what you want for that.
And it seems like we are for round 4 in the southern half of France.
Despite his weaker signs, Madonna is doing just as well in trying to pinpoint this location. He's in the same general area as Tom Paula is looking. And he goes so fast. I missed. It's a D. What is it? The D933?
Yeah. Tom Paula has another sign there. A big one with many green cities.
Yeah, and some distances as well, which is really nice. That's what you like to see. Yeah. Which is helping him pinpoint the location a whole lot better, at least right now. He will head back to the start with 30 seconds left.
And there's literally no side road or house to pinpoint where we are.
That'll make it tricky. He is going to use that road direction then, as well as this curve to help him. 20 seconds left. Madone not heading back to the start. Oh, very nice work from Paul. Given there was not a whole lot to work with, only dropping a point is pretty good there. And Madonna is going to be a little bit rushed for time here again. Yeah, make sure you put us on the right road. And, a last-second adjustment actually costs him a few more points, 4,940 for him there. But, yeah, it looks like the last 2 rounds just run out of time, Paschtetli.
Yeah. I know that 3 minutes can be very punishing, and also as a Reddit League player with a time bank of 4 minutes 30, I know also that can be hard. So, yeah, and it totally makes sense that the time runs out pretty quickly.
Yeah, indeed. Well, that gets Paul and Paula a little bit closer as we'll get into round number 5, and we'll see that he does have a lead in this game, at least finally. 19,883 for Tal, 19,856 for Madone. But again, lots of nice signs right at the start. And this is not the horrible, gruesome, I have no idea where we are France seed that Tal might have wanted in order to earn some of those points back for this final. But at least he's not dropping many points. He's not leaving a lot of room for Madonna to get further ahead, which is a good thing in and of itself, I think.
As a prediction, I can say Switzerland will probably be the decider for this game.
Definitely plenty of points still up for grabs even after 2 games as they make their way through this village looking for some decent signs. And there we go, the D118 and some villages and distances for Tal, who already seems pretty confident trying to figure out where these villages are. And what do you know? Madone right behind him seeing that same sign.
Yeah.
So.
And the sign Allées-les-Bains means that we're close to 10 kilometers off the coast. So Les Bains means we're close to a beach.
Interesting. That's a bit of a lovely fact for you all there.
Or just a town that is close to that has a beach.
We'll jump back to the start to try to work on his pinpointing with about a minute left. And
that's
sure
a
enough,
very annoying bug.
But he will get that 5K nonetheless. And a bit of a spoiler again, but we won't even talk about that as Madone still has a minute left to figure out where he is.
Yeah.
This one.
I think he's not looking in the wrong place. He just needs to find the exact location.
Yeah, he's got that D118 road for sure. Now he's got to find some of these village names, especially something that is close. He's got, there we go, 5. How do you pronounce that? I'll leave that to you.
Which one?
Sepi?
Which one do you want me to pronounce?
Cepie.
Seppi, oui. Oui, oui, c'est bien.
I don't know. I'm amazed at how much French, speaking English and a little bit of German, how much French I can read, but I can't pronounce any French. Like I can look at the
that's
words and
very
go,
hard.
"Oh, okay, I know what this word is. I know what this word is," but I
That's
can't
very
pronounce
hard.
anything. And yeah, unfortunately, time runs out again for Modone, costing him a few more points, but he was in the right town, just on the wrong side of it. 4,958 points for him there. So yeah, Talimpala does take map number 2 here in terms of points, but definitely doesn't win by enough points. See him have quite the advantage. We can see here on his screen 24,883 to finish, 24,814. So that's what, not a 69-point lead. That's nothing, and especially when
Yeah.
he's down over 4,000 points.
Yeah.
Paschtetli.
Yeah. He really needs to win the Swiss game by I don't know, like 4,500 points or something, if I remember correctly. The French seed did not make a huge difference to the game, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, well, I mean, we still have 5 rounds to play. That's still 25,000 points up for grabs.
Yes.
So it's still plenty of chances for points to be dropped with that. But yeah, we'll see you back in a bit with game number 3. Well, welcome to game number 3. We are in Switzerland. Talimpala was able to take his home country of France, but unfortunately, this is not a best of 3 series. This is a total points series, Paschtetli, and he's still down by over 4,000 points going into this final game. So
exactly.
You're from Switzerland. Any predictions about how this is going to play out here in our final
I would
map?
favor Talimpala again because he's French. Quite simply, France is our neighboring country, so I would favor him. Maybe he's been to Switzerland a few times, maybe once, maybe not. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, it also might help if we're in the French part of Switzerland, where he's able to read some of the signs. That might give him a small advantage in this final. But other than that, he's got a long way to climb to catch up to what we thought would be the underdog here, but who, in going in this final map, is definitely the favorite in terms of just the mathematical points. It could possibly be taken here. So yeah, let's jump into round number 1 and see how things go for these two here. And we start off, looks like next to a fire station.
Yeah, and that means we are in the German-speaking part. I've seen some German by now.
Yeah, Feuer is definitely German.
Feuerwehr, yeah.
Yeah. What I'm hoping to get from you here is some of these Canton flags that you might see.
Yeah, that's the Solothurn Canton flag. It's the same as Poland, I think. The same flag as Poland. And I'm confusing this all the time. Maybe it's also Monaco or I don't know.
There's a couple of those red and white stripes countries out there. There's some, looks like village names with
I can
pines.
see Grenchen. I can see Grenchen. It's close to Solothurn and Solothurn as well on the right sign. And this is actually a hiking sign with a hiking times on them. So it's not actually very good for Geoguessr because the towns are mostly very small.
Well, there's a decent sign for Modone as well.
With Solothurn in a big writing.
Yeah, that'll help. He's found at least one of them. Talimpala is also at that same intersection, I believe. He's got...
No, he's in the completely wrong part. Also on the map, I mean, on the same intersection he is, but
he's seen that same
completely wrong part.
Yeah, so
we are in the
not as familiar with it as well, maybe. Let's see what he's able to find here.
Solothurn is in the Jura-Gebirge, Jura, and not in the Alps.
Okay. See if he can find some road signs or numbers, which might help him locate his location better. That bit of a jump is not what he's gonna
Oh yeah,
want. Yeah, and he's actually
that's
stuck.
that's a typical Swiss Google coverage bug.
Yeah, one single
There are,
location somewhere.
yeah, there are many gaps in the coverage.
Yeah, and he seems to be
I
running
think
into some of those.
I think it's because of privacy
Mm,
laws,
interesting.
and I've also heard that we have low cam in Switzerland because so people cannot see in our gardens.
Mm,
I
that's
think it's also the
interesting.
same in Japan. I'm
I
not
don't
sure,
think, yeah,
but
it's not a privacy thing in Japan. It's definitely just a car thing, I believe. But
okay.
yeah, in the meantime, sorry, Madonna did get a 5K, found those village names with that road intersection and was able to pinpoint it. Paul, however, with time running out as we speak, is just going to throw a wild guess, and a second bad round in 3 games. It's going to make it really hard for him to come back.
Yes.
Only 667 points for that one. Definitely didn't know where those villages were, which is kind of weird because they aren't the smallest thing to spot on the map
Yes.
either. Paschtetli.
Solothurn is first of all it's a canton of Switzerland, and second of all it's a pretty big city.
Mhm.
So if you would have known that, that would have been great.
Yeah, but it didn't seem to register at all for Tall Impala
Yes.
for that one. So we will see how round 2 goes and see if he can make up now probably over 8,000 points, which is going to take him 2 rounds. Well, at least Madonna having a bit of trouble moving at the start, so that might give him a bit of an advantage. There we go. He manages to click and
Yes.
jump.
I noticed it is possible to hop into town. I've actually made this map myself with 5,000 locations in Switzerland, so handpicked. So I tested this, and I knew it was possible to hop in there in this town.
And he sure enough did. Tall and Paul, however, heading off into the forest looking for some signs,
Yes.
which is a bit of a disadvantage actually, because if
Yeah.
Dona is able to see a sign in this town, he's going to have a big advantage. At least if Tall doesn't see anything, which he hasn't so far.
And it's also I think it's a bad idea to move uphill because there are usually less informations on the mountain as in the valley, which makes sense.
Any insider tips on where we might be in Switzerland, given this location?
Yeah, I know exactly because I'm gonna go there tomorrow.
Oh, okay, well, don't spoil it too much for us here, as the players are still trying to find out some information. But very beautiful mountain.
Yes.
That was lots of those in Switzerland, of course.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's in the eastern part of Switzerland this time.
Okay, but yeah, no information for either player really. Oh, there's a sign for Tall. He'll go back and see if he can't read that.
It's another hiking sign
Gutenberg, but
and biking sign.
yeah,
Hüttenberg, yeah.
couple names. There's a wooden sign for Modone, but not know if he's really able to read that or not.
I can also not read these signs, so. But he's at the moment his pin is on a pass, a mountain pass. So this is definitely not where we are, and there is no bigger lake. So
yeah, there is a lake in the valley, which is kind of what they're both using to pinpoint.
Yeah.
Looking at different lakes, trying to think if this is the right one or not, but neither have seen too many clues.
Madone is now moving to the Zurich lake, so this is also the wrong one. There are no mountains or just some hills.
Yeah, so a bit tricky. The names aren't really giving away too much for our 2 players here. All pretty much looks like he's just making a guess. Like, hey, look, it's some mountain. It's lake.
That's the lake.
Oh,
where Madone is at now. He didn't put the pin down, but it would have been the right one.
Yeah, not off, but yeah, Tall again, another disastrous round, trying to basically just guess the best lake he could, and it wasn't good enough. 262 points for that one. Yeah, maybe Madonna gets a bit lucky just clicking on lakes as he went along, and the last place he ended up being close, 3,147 points for him with that. So, yeah, pretty much, I think almost mathematically out of range now.
I'm
for
bad at
Tom.
math, so I'm not gonna try to calculate this, but I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close if it isn't already uh, for Tall about trying to come back from this massive deficit he's got himself in. As we'll get into round number 3, he's got 3 rounds to make up what is close to over 10,000 points. So I think technically not mathematically out of it if Madonna gets zeros from here on out, but as long as he puts up even 1,000 points or two, it'll be out of Paul's reach a little bit earlier than he would have liked for this one.
Yeah. Madonna has actually missed a pretty nice sign there. It's a town entry sign. On the backside there are usually some other towns with distances on there, so if you know that, you can maybe use that.
Paul working his way through town. Madonna, however, headed out of town trying to find some of those nice signs on the town entrance or exit. Gives you distances and road numbers. Not a bad place to look, but so far hasn't seen too much. Some small villages, but yeah, there's a nice
That's the
sign,
sign.
for Paul.
Like something Lauville. I think that's in the Basel-Land, canton of Basel-Land, in the northern part
It
of
does have a
Switzerland.
BL underneath it,
Yeah,
so that might be abbreviation
That's
for that.
Basel-Land, yeah.
I'm learning a lot about Switzerland in this round, for sure.
One of the half cantons of Switzerland. We have 3 half cantons, like Appenzell, Inner- und Ausserrhoden, and Obwalden and Nidwalden, and Basel-Stadt and Basel-Land.
Now, what exactly is a half canton? Just a very small one?
We have normal cantons like Zurich or Bern or Geneva or something, and then we have also half cantons. I don't know. It's like there's also something political. We have a system that there are small cantons. Yes, basically that's the simplest explanation.
So they're allowed to be a canton, but not quite at the level of some of the larger neighbors. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's worth knowing for sure. Yeah, but Tall, pretty lost. Has got some small village names, but that's about it.
And Oberdorf is like a very frequent place name. There's no way he's gonna get the right Oberdorf.
Repetitive town name, but he's gonna go looking for it nonetheless with only 20 seconds left to go.
He's at least in the right part of Switzerland now. Madone and Dolan Palace in Zurich, so that's pretty wrong.
Yeah, well, he has found Oberdorf in the right canton, so at least it might help him out. Sure enough, it sure does. 4,605 points for him there. Colin Paula again not able to find anything, and only 344 points for him. So
and that's now the third round in a row where he didn't manage to get 1,000 points. That's a tiny bit sad.
Yeah, a bit uncharacteristic of Tom Paula, but maybe we've learned something here. Switzerland definitely not a strength for the Frenchman. Indonesia didn't prove to be too challenging except for one odd round, but Switzerland just 3 rounds now, not really able to get much of anything going at all. So let's see if we can't shift in to our round 4. Here we go, round 4. And see if we can't put Tall out of his misery. 2 more rounds to go. But he's already down about 11,000 in this game alone. Not to mention his deficit from game number 1. And that puts it mathematically out of reach.
Yeah.
For Tall,
we can now safely say Madone has won this World Cup.
Well, congrats to Armenia on picking up the World Cup here. France falling way short of probably expectations for sure in this one. Now, Tal's got a sign here, Galang, but also is that the canton
It's
name
actually
at the bottom?
Glang.
Galang.
It's actually
okay.
Glang.
Glang.
Like Glang, yeah.
That
And
umlaut
that's
is always tricky for me.
yeah. And that's a Gemeinde, that's a municipality, so no, it's
Okay.
not very useful.
Okay. Hard to tell what kind of information that sign is giving you there.
Yeah.
And again, more hiking signs for Tal and Paula as well. So
it says GDE, that means Gemeinde.
Okay. And that tells you it's going to be a municipality.
Exactly.
Not a canton.
We have actually some new Gen 4 coverage, which they only released like a month or two ago in Switzerland for Madone.
Very nice, beautiful roads and cameras to go along with them. He's finding loads of information.
Yes, that sign would have been very useful actually. That's a blue sign, and blue signs are also always bigger towns.
Tal, however, pretty much just resigned to his fate. I'm just going to look at this hiking sign and see if I can find something. Not even going to bother to really travel too far, save my fingers a bit.
I've actually never heard of Glang, so I'm not sure if he's going to find it, if I can.
Yeah, there we go. But there we go. A very nice sign, E35 and the 2. So, Basel.
Yes. That means again we're in the northern part of Switzerland. Dagmersellen and Basel, yeah.
There we go. Work your way back. Find some of those smaller village names. For Madonna, pretty much he doesn't really know it yet, but he's on a victory lap already. Just gonna.
The 2A is actually a pretty important clue for this run. At the road number. On the right of Basel, it tells you pretty much exactly where we are.
Okay.
If you can find it, if you can find the 2, you can find shots and then the location. So
interesting. There we go. Paul just picking a village, hoping it's good, and it's not too bad. He did find look like a few names that might look right. 4,824. For him, 4,973 for Madone, and finally things go right for Talampala Paschtetli, but a little bit too late, unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately, yeah.
With that, so we won't dawdle too much. We'll just get ourselves situated here for the final round.
And it seems we're on a train. On the railway,
yeah, right on a railway, which would be good for pinpointing, and a station name is probably not too far away to find either.
And
we're
again,
able to track that down. There we go.
For the extra
Gstaad Airport.
Oh, Gstaad Airport. Yes, this is a very famous town.
Yeah, very famous.
Very
town.
touristy.
And there we go. Even nicer sign for Talampala than the airport. For him as he heads west, looks at it, gonna spend some more time. There we go. This is probably a sign he's been wanting to find all afternoon.
Yeah.
A blue sign with a road number.
Aigle, Bühle, Château d'Eu and Rougemont. That means we are in the French-speaking part.
So.
And on the 11. Which is not very hard to find. He sees it probably by now. And there's Gstaad, I can see it.
Madone also seeing that same blue sign now as he comes up on it. Yeah,
but Talampala's looking in the completely wrong town at the moment. He's in Rougemont and not in... there's Gstaad Airport.
There's the sign. He will jump.
Never mind.
The actual road, the railway crossing, and get an ace and just wrap things up there. So at least ending on a good form with some good information for Talampala there. Another minute and 20 seconds or so for Madonna to wrap things up. His score already enough to seal the win for him.
Yes, and now he has found Gstaad.
Now it's got to
Just
find.
needs to find the airport, and since it's very mountainous there, um, it's not that
There's the airport.
easy. Yeah, Flugplatzanen.
There we go. Has to remember we do start on the railroad tracks. He'll just confirm that there. Move his pin a little bit more. That should do it. He'll be looking to end this one on an ace as well. An extra 30 seconds to spare, and that will seal it. Finally, he gets the win, and he'll take home the trophy for this one. A pretty hard-fought battle in France, but 1 bad round and 3 bad rounds in Switzerland for Talampala means he'll drop the map by quite a significant margin in that one. So a lot easier for Madonna than we would have thought at the beginning of things, especially here.
I guess he is a newcomer, and maybe we will see him in the next Reddit League.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. With a pedigree like that, beating Talampala in a final for that. And anybody else out there watching, and you need to pick a weakness, Tala's pretty weak at Switzerland, at least for now. For that. So maybe that might be something he needs to brush up in the off season to get better at if he hopes to do better in some competitions as well. But yeah, that's it. A wonderful matchup. Kind of ended in a bit of a undramatic fashion, but still great to see some pretty good geoguessing going on, and Talampala finishing strong, giving us some good rounds to watch to just how to pinpoint in general in GeoGuessr there. I agree. Paschtetli, how did it go for you? And definitely want to do this again in the future?
Sure. I liked it very much, and I'm hoping I can get some people to do this another time. And I when I was younger, I actually organized some World Cups for myself. That sounds a bit nerdy, but since this is a pretty nerdy community, I'm just gonna say that I played also GeoGuessr against myself, but in these days it was funny, and I thought, why not make it an actual tournament?
There we go. Yeah, very nice indeed for that. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this final. We weren't able to bring you, of course, the entire competition. We had Reddit League going on, as well as just a lot of players, not enough videos, and just hard to get. So we wanted to at least bring you the final. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in our next competition around the corner. See you then. Take care.
Bye.